Yo, what's going on? Bruzery Podcast. Hope everybody good. Today is actually I'm recording this on a Saturday. We normally record on a Sunday. Um, but I wanted to get this on and out. I'm going dolo for that, ass today. Um, Want to knock it out today. So potentially, I could have a guest or two tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm really gonna do it, but due to it being the holiday season, not really trying to mess with nobody's schedules and stuff like that. But with that being said, um, got a invite to go holla at the DMST boys. That's drunk mind, sober thoughts. Shout out to Mo and the fellas. They was they blessing me to come through and sit in with them. Not saying I'm gonna be on air, but I'm still gonna come. Still going there just to cool out and just politic with the fellas or whatnot and meet the other crew and cast. Just to see how everything works and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty dope opportunity and I appreciate that. Shout out to y'all. Uh, Crazy weekend. Well, no, it's just a crazy weekend. Actually, a good weekend. Dude got to punch the clock tonight, but ain't really feeling it. But no bigs. That's easy money. So, with that being said, let's get into it, right? So, bear with me. About to be I'm talking to y'all, but be talking to myself as well. So, not really riffing off anybody. But let's go first. And what we want to talk about today? Fuck it. Let's just go ahead and just make it a whole thing. You ever thought about running in traffic? Meaning like not really commit suicide, but I guess that kind of be suicide if you did think about running in traffic. I guess that's a potential suicide. But what I'm saying is that like every time I cross the street when I'm going to work, like when I'm waiting, because you basically I don't know, I guess you basically jaywalking. I'm not in no crosswalk or whatever. But I always say, like, what if I took 2 steps while this car going 35, and what would be the results of that? Now, a smart person would be like, you know what the damn results would be. Understood. But do you ever like just think about like, can you survive it? Can you bounce back from that? No pun intended. Not too sure. But those be like little thoughts that go through my head when I'm crossing the street. I know it's weird. I know you're gonna be like, what the fuck you talking about, Bruce? But uh, I don't know. When you're talking to yourself or when you're thinking to yourself, these are the things that runs through some people's minds or whatnot. So I don't know. Thought I'd throw it out there. Y'all can y'all can always hit it up, bruzerypodcast at gmail.com, and let me know if I'm a fucking idiot for thinking that, um, or if somebody thought about something like that. We ain't talking Russian roulette. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, grab the piece or whatever, grab the gun or grab the firearm and see how many times you can like click it or whatnot. So I don't know. That was something to think about. That's something to go in your head when y'all at work or at home or whatnot. On to the next. Oh, another one. Another thing that I've been thinking about. Do anybody know how do a deaf person or a mute or however you want to call it, how do a deaf person be able to dance? Now I know one entity you can go on the aspect of saying like well he or she can feel the vibration, like say you're in a club or whatever and you can feel the vibration, the bass or whatnot, so you can get a groove that way. But just on everyday life spectrum, like how do how do they vibe the music? Closed caption, but you still don't see the beat. Sort of. Well, I guess if you're watching the video, you can see the beat, but closed captions not everywhere. So I don't know. I really these are things that be in my mind when I'm at work, and I'm just letting it out. And I mean, I guess I got a platform now just to shoot the shit, and these are things I'm thinking about. So it's no different from all the crazy memes or whatever that people put up. Um, so don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's just you just really getting the insight of Bruce and how I just be thinking about certain things or whatnot, and I write it down. I either write it down or I text myself on the phone or email myself on the phone about these certain topics or whatever. I be thinking about it, and I don't really express it, I guess. But yeah, so that's another thing. I don't know if it'd be a hit or miss or not, but just writing all these things down. What else I got? So I don't want to go too dark. Um, I know there's a couple things that happened in the Cleveland area. 15-year-old. Let me see. Break it up real quick. 15-year-old. I know he did like a armed robbery or something. Then he as he was trying to flee, he here we go. He hit a 13-year-old. Let me see. I'll bring this up. This via Fox 8, so to get him gotta give him that credit or whatnot. Cause so if I'm putting it on YouTube, I just gotta make sure that I'm giving my source. Um, Here we go. So 13-year-old hit and killed by teen trying to escape police. Investigators continue to search for a second suspect. So the second suspect, I'm assuming he ran away. Um, they got a 15-year-old in custody. It's happened on West 117th. If you from our area, I'm quite sure well, I know that some people saw it or whatnot, but held a woman at gun. The potential guy or the guys, the suspects, whatever, held an individual or a young lady at gunpoint outside the Target, and this is in the afternoon. It's the wee hours, 3:20. So he's got to think. I mean, hey, my wife could be there, my daughter could be there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like your daughters, sons, whatever. You know what I mean? Brothers, mothers, whatever. Especially during this time of the shopping season, anybody could have been there. So that's definitely terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like they stole the suspect's car, and then once again, mind you, it's a 15-year-old, and then mind you, a doggone 13-year-old is killed because of the stupidity of these guys. And to me, it just don't make no sense, man. Like I don't, I don't know. So some stuff that be happening these days, I really just don't understand, man. It's just like it's just bullshit. You know what I mean? And I would say excuse my language, but at the same time, not excuse my language is a dark format, but just bullshit, man. Like just having to deal or even seeing this every day. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people say that they don't even watch the news because of um, things that transpire that you see in the morning or waking up in the morning. I mean, I do watch the news so I can see what is going on. I try to tell the youngest to check it out and look at the stuff because you're not exempt. You don't know who it is. Like it was just something else. I read today. Uh, it was in Maple, which is kind of around the corner for me. Once again, it's kind of the Cleveland area, it's the Ohio area. So if y'all listen outside the state, it's more. I'm talking more local news. Um, and two dudes um, basically mugged a young lady, or actually an elderly woman. She was coming from like dialysis, or yeah, she was. Yeah, I think she was coming from dialysis or whatnot, and they mugged her, shoved her back down. Um, took I don't know if it took her pocketbook or whatnot, but it's the same old thing, man. It's like right now it's like every time it's tis the season, it's like it's tis the season to rob or whatever, and it's overall bullshit, man. And like I said, it always people try to trip or try to get upset when the stereotype is coming towards like the young black kings. You know what I'm saying? And then like, do I call these young man kings the ones that's trying to rob their own or this and the third? Like, do I call them young kings or whatever? You know what I'm saying, do we look at them? Do we look at them the same aspect as a young man or a young woman that's living just living a regular life and doing the school things or whatever? Do we put them in the same category? Not too sure. You know what I mean? Some people can say that they'll be like, well, you gotta you gotta help them, you gotta guide them, you gotta do this and that. But I mean, everybody can't be guided. In my opinion, everybody can't be guided. At the end of the day, whether it's an adult or adolescent, um, they gonna choose their path. So do we still waste the time or waste the money? And I hate to say waste, but just for lack of a better term, like, do we waste that time on that person, on the one that don't want to quote do right or want to live that type of lifestyle, or do we put more time into it, or do we put more time into the ones that's really committed in trying to do that or go that positive route or whatnot? Um, I mean that's a question to be entertained. Um, but my thinking, I mean, you only can travel so many times, but I don't think you should have to waste the. I would say I don't think you should have to waste the energy on somebody that don't want that energy or is not going to do it for themselves. And that come from an adult, or not comes me being an adult, but that's coming from, like, I don't care if it's a subject of an adult or an adolescent, like whether it's 15, whether it's 17, or somebody that's up and coming under, or that's under you as far as age wise or appear to you or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can tell. You can try to tell somebody what to do, or show them that road or show them that map, but if they choose to go left, and you tell them to go right, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? And then these are individuals that's inside our neighborhoods that's potentially it can be your mother, it can be your sister, you know what I mean? It could be your brother, like, robbing cats or whatever, stick up kids or however the case may be, and just going to fucking Walgreens or whatever, Save a Lot, whatever store you want to pick. For people out of state, like a Kroger's or whatever and stuff. Your grandma just came from the hospital to do dialysis, and then somebody sticking her up at Kroger's and shit. Like, you would think you would be decently safe at these little spots that happen. You're not out at night. It's the middle of the day, and then just to bring it back to the young lady, the young 13-year-old that got killed. She coming from school. You know what I'm saying? I believe Superior Elementary or a Superior. Or she was in sixth grade, and I mean, yo, she ain't had no thoughts of getting smacked by a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom or dad or whoever, the family. You know what I'm saying? Now they gonna be all shook up and fucked up because, you know what I'm saying, like, they didn't think about, oh, because this 15-year-old and did the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like how the not 6 degrees of separation, but like to the aspect of to where, you know what I'm saying, cause and effect. But yo, they ain't you would never think that when you letting your kids off the school or sending your kids off to school, and then they fucking goddamn getting mowed down because somebody trying to rob somebody from Target for what? I don't know, a gift card, little $10, whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's idiocy. It's bullshit, man. So didn't mean to bring the day down, but these are just two things that this morning when I was up doing my research that was there. So had to talk about it because it was actually like it was actually in my feed a lot. So I thought I would touch on that. In lighter news, let me tell y'all what's going on as far as the Bruzy podcast. So right now, we're going into a new year, and I'm not going on the thing of new year, new me or whatever, but I'm just saying like I'm trying to really, we trying to really expand this some more. So with that being said, um, go to brucerypodcast at gmail.com. Whether it's negative, whether it's positive, I'm assuming, I'm hoping it to be positive, whatever. But that'll go for like interviews. That'll go for just being a special or being a guest or a special guest coming through. That'll be for um, comments. Shit. If it's something that you want somebody or you want us to touch on or talk about, that's always good. Um, but when I say it's not really a flipping the format, but it'll still be the regular podcast on Sundays, and then I always try to drop it by Monday or Tuesday once I edit and stuff like that, and get it out there to y'all, the listeners, which I appreciate once again. But I'm gonna have my wife on here more, and then I'm trying to get some females, some female content, so it ain't too much masculinity or whatever. Get female content, especially on some of the subjects that we talked about. Like I just dropped body count. You know what I'm saying? Like what's like, how do you feel about the body count of your significant other? But it was from a male perspective. Talk about a female, like if she humped, how many she ever humped throughout her lifetime, or whatever. How would you feel? So that's a little snippet on there. That's on on YouTube, and oh, I ain't put it on SoundCloud, but it's on YouTube, and it's via Facebook and stuff like that. And also, we are on Spotify now. We on Spotify, so I had to get the rest of those up, but it's a couple of the newer ones that's up there. So please check that out. If you have Spotify, then SoundCloud is the one of the main ones, and then YouTube for visual. So please check that out. Another thing that I'm gonna bring back, which I did for Thursday, is sneaker talk. And with sneaker talk, basically when I'm talking about, obviously it's sneakers, but I do it in a fashion to where like I'm not talking about, I won't be talking too much about, like, say, the Jordan 11s, which is AKA the breads or whatnot that just came out. You know what I mean? I probably touch base on it because I talk to these young kids as far as like how much they cost back in my day, or how many times they came out since back in my middle school, high school days. So I talk on that aspect, but more or less, I'm just gonna be showing the sales of what's going on. Like, so it'd probably be like a sneaker of the week or like two sneakers of the week. Like, hey, this retailed at 150, but it's on sale for 60 at said place, Finish Line or Nike.com or however the case may be. So these are things that I'm trying to roll out, and then with the misses, it'll be more of a, I ain't gonna say it'd be more of a female base, but it'd be more balanced. Like she was on the last episode, or not the last episode, but episode a couple weeks back. You know, she talked and said her piece, and we was talking about child support and just parenting and stuff like that of that nature. So got a lot of things gonna be coming out, so it's gonna be a lot of content. Like I said, Sundays is always gonna be the main, or Sundays always gonna be my recording day. But like throughout the week, as I book for 2020, as I book, ladies and gentlemen, as they come or as they available, then there'll be a lot of content, man. And all I say is just listen, man. Just listen if you got time. I know everybody got a podcast, you know. So I mean, I listen to podcasts myself and stuff like that. So um, I know you don't have 10 minutes, or sometimes you don't got 10 minutes, or sometimes you don't have an hour. So I'm trying to break that down as well, just to have it down to, like, I think I'm gonna do like 30-minute segments, because I think 30 is good, but most people retention when it comes to this, I did my research, it's like 7 to 10 minutes, and then you keep it moving unless you really invested into that said thing that you're listening to. So I don't know. I just say give it a try. Um, I put a lot of effort in this, and I think you'll like it. I really think that y'all will dig it, and so that's kind of like a PSA for what I got going on, for what we got going on as well, as far as over here in the Bruisery Podcast camp. Um, shit, I done talked for 20 minutes, so hey, look, I ain't gonna hold you. Um, I want to save a little bit. I got a couple more things, but I'm gonna say that for Sunday, just in case I do have a guest. I can talk about a couple more things. Going to that's another thing, sports. So we're gonna talk sports. So I know a lot of y'all be talking about the Browns, the Cavs, the me being a bandwagon fan, or me being a Warriors fan, or y'all guys being a Cavs fan, or how y'all try to say it, a LeBron fan. So because so y'all can have y'all doggone excuse to root for the Lakers for the purple and gold. So with that being said, that's another thing. Hit me up if y'all want to come through and let's talk. Let's talk that talk about these little teams that y'all quote just so love so much. And I love to have I really because I'm locally in Cleveland, so I would love to talk to some Browns fans, man. Cause I need to pick y'all brains about why the fuck do y'all just year in and year out is just I'm die hard, man. I'm die hard. Yo, gotta relax, man. It just why put yourself to that position? It's like being a battered wife or a battered husband. Like, why put yourself to that position every week? Oh man, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Can't even ain't even 500. Ain't even 500. It just not make sense. But I hold that comment till one of my guys come on or a female for that matter. I don't know. I hold that comment. But in closing, please check me out. Bruiser ENT at IG. Bruzery Podcast. Y'all can see how it's spelled. Bruzery Podcast at IG. Also, um, Bruzery Podcast at gmail.com. You can DM me, inbox, whether it's on Facebook or whatnot. Just check out the content. It's coming. I'm gonna try to put even out more. Like I'm really invested in my time and stuff like that. I haven't even played fucking Call of Duty yet, and I never played Call of Duty when it come out. I had it since the day it came out, and I haven't only played for like an hour max, and it's been like a month or so. So I'm really behind this computer and behind this stuff, trying to really get this stuff booming. So I appreciate everybody that do listen, take the time to listen to my dumb ass, um, to hear my takes and hear our takes. And it's greatly appreciated. I hope y'all do find it entertaining because I mean, end of the day, it's entertainment. It's all opinion based. Um, but chime in. It's make it a conversation. We can go back and forth. We can, whether it's email, whether it's text, whether it's DMs and that. Like, hey, let's have fun with it. That's all I'm saying. That's basically what I'm doing. And that's basically the motive for me, even starting and investing in stuff because it's something that y'all do every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily cooler talk, but it is to a point that you talking. We've been doing this for decades. Been doing this since we been born. Just talking to your homeboys or homegirls or whatever and shit. So that's all it is. But right here, what I'm trying to implement is you getting the insight for somebody else. You getting the insight that you ain't got to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we bringing it to you. We bring it to you, the consumer. You bring it to you, the listener. You know what I mean? So once again, I appreciate y'all. And with that being said, that was almost 25 minutes. I just talked to my damn self. Well, as I'm recording, talk to myself, I'm still talking to y'all. So that's a little start. All right. With that being said, this was a solo edition of the Bruisery Podcast. And I think I'll put this up as soon as I get done with this. So by the time y'all even start listening to this, it'll be up. Light idols.